Hip mobility. Now, who has poor hip mobility? I think a lot of us do, especially if we're sitting a lot, right? And that's the trend this year with working from home more, with just doing more. A lot of us are sitting more. And even if you're in the car a lot, this can be very, very beneficial to you. So our hips, we want to be able to get full internal and external rotation through, right? So this is something that is going to help with that. And it's going to involve a stretch and then an actual movement as well. So you want to get your body in a 90-90 position like this. So my knees are directly in line with my hips on both sides, and I'm going to keep my hips completely square. I can prop myself up on one side, and then I can put this hand wherever. I can put it out, I can put it in front, but I'm just going to lean forward, and as I do, I'm thinking about driving my knee and my ankle on the floor into the ground. So I'm breathing deep, and I'm really thinking about driving, and then coming up. And if I don't feel that, that's fine. Like if I can't really feel my ankle and my knee going into the ground, that's fine. I just want to be thinking about that because that's going to get that mind muscle connection going, and that's going to get those muscles in my brain to learn, oh, when she's doing this, or oh, when I'm doing this movement, my hips and my ankles should be in sync and they should be doing this. So the more you think about something, the more it's going to happen. So I'm going to do that a couple times. Come up, and then I want to add in something a little more to that to take it up just a little bit up a notch. And so I'm going to come down just like I've been doing, keeping my chest, everything nice and straight. I'm driving into the ground, but then I'm going to lift my foot back up off the ground, right? So I'm firing up, I'm activating my external rotators in my hip on the opposite leg. So I'm down, I'm here, I'm stretching this side, and then I'm activating the other. So I'm breathing, and I'm relaxing. And I do that for about 5 to 6 times on each side. So I do that, then I'd go to the other side and do the same thing, making sure that my knees and everything are about 90 degrees, everything is in line with my hips, I'm staying straight and on. Then coming up, and again, just breathing through each movement. And you may notice that one side is totally easier than the other, or one side is way tighter than the other. And that's not abnormal. We normally have muscle imbalances, but we want to work through those, and we want to try to get them as even as possible because it's going to help us move better. It's going to help us get more out of our workouts, and it's going to help us have less pain. So do this a few times. And then come up, and then I'm going to raise that back leg or back foot up and come down. And I can notice that this side, my right hip, is so much tighter than my left, but I can still get this leg up. So it's something you need to work through. And again, thinking about driving that knee, driving that ankle into the ground when I'm coming forward and lifting up in the back. And just doing this a few times is gonna help you, especially if you do it before a workout. You're gonna see that you're gonna be able to get lower in your squats if that's a goal, or you're gonna be able to feel better. You may not have as much hip pain during squatting or lunging or any lower body or even running activity. This is really important for running as well. So you'd wanna do this before a workout, or you can do it on its own a few times a week, but I promise you're gonna feel an improvement. Now, you can stop right there, or you can stay with me, and I'm going to show you the next thing to move into mobility wise. All right, so we've just finished that stretch, so it's more of an active stretch, if you will, but then we want to turn into an actual mobility drill, right? So I'm going to get into 90-90 again, and I'm going to sit straight up, keeping those hips square, and I'm going to raise my hand, arms up. You don't have to be like full first position, if you will, with ballet, but you do you. You just want to keep your arms and everything nice and straight, keeping that neutral spine. I'm planting my feet. So as you see, my feet are not coming up off the ground. They're just rotating. Knees are raising up, and I'm literally rotating to the other side to be in 90-90, the other direction. And then I'm going to go back, keeping that neutral spine, going the other way. I'm going to do this for about 10 reps. So 5 on each side. And you may realize, just like anything else, that one side is easier than the other. But the hardest part for this, for me, is just getting your mind around keeping your feet down. So I just like to think like my feet are glued to the ground, right? And the only way I'm going to be able to get to the other side is through my hips rotating internally on this side, externally on the other, to get to that other position, right? Now, you want to take it up a little bit more. So I'm in this position, so I just did that on one side, and then I'm going to raise up. So I'm extending now through my hips, coming down, and then going to the other side, and then extending up, lifting, getting that glute extension with it, and then coming down to the other side and alternating side to side with that. So those are some really great things to add in for mobility within your hips, and they're good for everybody, regardless if you are someone who works out a ton or a weekend warrior. It is going to help you feel better, especially if you get tightness in your hips or you feel like you can't get a full range of motion in a lunge or a squat or a deadlift. So try it out. Let me know what you think. Share this with somebody that might find benefit from it. I would totally appreciate it. And if you want to find out more or simply get a workout to do anywhere, be sure to hit that link below and be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already.